Hello, my name is Kalina Grant. I am a senior at Bloomsburg University, and my presentation is on the death penalty worldwide. First, I will be going over what the death penalty actually is. The death penalty is a state-sanctioned practice of killing a person for committing a crime. The death penalty is considered a controversial subject globally and often debated upon. Next, I will be talking to you about the controversy of the death penalty. There is no international law against the death penalty, but most countries consider it to be a violation of human rights. There are still many with death penalties. The death penalty is seen as a way to deter citizens from committing crimes and keep the population safe. But many who oppose the death penalty equate it to murder because it does not solve anything or deter others from committing said crimes. Over 70% of the world countries have abolished or at least in some capacity the death penalty. There are a few main arguments against the death penalty. First, it's inhumane. Second, it does not deter crime. And lastly, it is used as a tool for control and not justice and cannot be undone if later found innocent. First country I will be discussing is China. In China, the death penalty is used quite often. They execute over 1,000 people a year. They execute more people than every country combined. That is why they are considered the executor of the globe. They only use two methods to execute criminals. The first one is lethal injection, and the second is shooting. Though shooting executions were discontinued in 2010 because they considered lethal injection to be more humane. There's no exact number of how many people China has executed because it's considered a state secret. Also, many prisoners don't linger on death row. They are either executed after about 2 months, or they get a suspended sentence for 2 years, which either after that they are executed or their sentence is commuted. There are many crimes that people could be given a death penalty for in China, including capital offenses. The only exceptions of who can be executed are people under the age of 18 at the time of their crime, pregnant people, the mentally ill, and the elderly. The next country I will be talking to you about is the United States. In the United States, the death penalty varies between each state. There are 29 states that retain the death penalty, but only 19 of them have actually carried out executions since 2009, the leading state being Texas. In the states that have the death penalty, they use lethal injection as the main method, but there are other methods in certain states, such as shooting, electrocution, and gas chamber. There are many crimes that people could be given as death penalty for, including capital offenses. There are exceptions to who can be executed. These are people under the age of 18 at the age of their crime, pregnant people, the mentally ill, and intellectually disabled. The last country I will be talking about is Belarus. In Belarus, the death penalty is still legal, but the last time it was used was 2019. The use of the death penalty and death row inmates is considered a state secret. The only method used for the death penalty is shooting. The death penalty is mentioned in their constitution, limiting the use of the death penalty as an exceptional measure for especially grave crimes, and even contemplates the death penalty will eventually be abolished. The people excluded from the death penalty are people under the age of 18 at the age of their crime, pregnant women, women with small children, women, the mentally ill, and the elderly. Now moving on to the comparison of these three countries. These three countries are from different parts of the world, and even so, they are pretty similar. All three are retentionists, the United States by majority. and they have all used their death penalties in the last 5 years. With that said, there are still plenty of countries that are abolitionist or just don't use their death penalty. Thank you for listening to me present on death penalty worldwide.